Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing? Today we're going to be playing with a bunch of products from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Specifically, we're going to be testing out their new brush set, which looks so good. So there are 5 different brushes, and I believe it retailed for $32. I can't remember, I did purchase these myself, I purchased the palettes myself, and I just think that this is such a cute little set. So here's what the brushes look like. They're an ombre, and they kind of marketed these as the darker the shade of the brush is the darker the shade of eyeshadow that you should be going in with in correspondence to the brushes. So this one would be like the lightest one, probably in your transition. And they're just a bunch of really tiny detail brushes, which makes me really happy because I feel like a lot of times for these type of brushes, you're paying more, or like it's like a little bit more of a niche to have really good small blending brushes. So to have them at an affordable price from an indie brand, I think is pretty awesome. They did come in just like a very plain like little net brush bag. So today I figured we could try these out, and then I would also do a look with both of their eyeshadow palettes. So we've got the Surge palette, which I did a first impression video on and did swatches and everything, which is a really cute rainbow palette with pastels, some mid-tones, some deeper tones, some shimmers, and then neons with all, you know, the rows organized and everything. And then they also have the Blends palette, which I did a look using this recently with a Danessa Myricks video that I did. But this is another rainbow palette. This one's all matte, and you can see it's super, super cute. But I've done quite a few different looks playing with this off camera as well. So I figured today I was thinking of maybe doing something purple and green with these 2 palettes and with the brushes. So let's go ahead and jump on in. So I'm going to start off with this shade right here called Secrets from the Blends palette, and I'm going to be using the B5 brush. Okay, so that's actually pretty dense, feels like. So I'm gonna go ahead, let me just go over my eye real quick, make sure there's no lines or anything. And I'm gonna use that shade on the inner half of my crease as my transition color. Pretty pale green, so kind of just throwing it all over that inner half. I feel like this brush is already small enough, even being the biggest one in the set, that I could do a full eye look with it, which is really nice. All right, so I'm gonna wipe that brush off. And now I'm gonna go into this purple right here called Beckon. And I'm gonna use that through my crease on the outer half. I'm gonna be pretty careful. I wanna pack this shade on, and I want it to transition into the green a little bit, but I don't want it to get muddy, so I'm not gonna overly blend in the center. So going 1 brush down, I'm gonna take B4 now, which is just a little bit darker of a gray. And I think I'm gonna go into this green right here called Hint. And I'm just gonna put that in my crease just a little bit lower than the previous green. Keeping it right here. Again, I'm lightly blending, but just barely, because I don't want it to turn brown. All right, so I'm gonna wipe off that brush. I think now I'm gonna go into this purple Giggle, which is such a pretty purple. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the purple side. Just kind of take it a little bit lower down in the crease. I feel like so far the brushes feel super, super soft. Everything is applying pigmentedly, but also blending pretty easily, which goes along with the palettes already. I've had a really good experience with their matte formula, but I feel like the brushes are just such a nice size. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take brush B3. I think I'm gonna take this green right here called Alive, and I'm just gonna pop that right into the crease. I feel like that, again, like it's such a good like size to where it's going right where I want it to, but it also has a fluffiness to it where I feel like I can kind of blend it out. Normally, I kind of go back and forth with my brushes and I have to go over what I've already done, but I feel like this is blending so well, I'm not even feeling the need to do that. I'm gonna wipe off that brush. I think I'm gonna go into this purple right here called Signs now, and doing the same exact thing with that brush. Just putting it right through my crease. Slowly getting deeper and deeper. Again, just kind of applying it and then blending upwards. So I'm gonna go in with B2. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and go into this green now right here called Luxe. And just gonna put that right here. Kind of taking it onto the lid a little bit. I really wanted to use these brushes in order just to show how they work and like do it the way that the brand said to. But I feel like you could definitely use these whatever way makes your heart happy. That shade took over a little bit because it's very pigmented. I'm wiping it off, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go into this purple right here called Bewitched and do the same thing on this side. I feel like I'm gonna really like this brush for my lower lash line. The precision is real. I kind of have that how I want it now. I'm gonna go ahead and go into the last brush, which is the black one, B1, and use that for my darkest shade. I'm kind of torn. I think maybe I should go in with a black. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll go into this deep purple right here called Covet first and see if that's as dark as I want it. So this brush is very tiny, but a little bit fluffier. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in my outer V. Then just kind of blend it out. I think I'm also gonna go in with a touch of this black right here called Vinyl. Just using a little bit of that on top. Like I can't remember the last time I went in with so many matte shades. I'm gonna go back into my very first brush. No additional product. And just blend over the edge of the purple. Blends so quickly. For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go into B2 again. And you know what? I think I'm gonna add another color in. Even though I'm loving the purple green, I kind of just wanted to add a little extra moment. I'm gonna go in with this shade Rush, and I'm gonna blend that along the entire lower lash line. Yeah, like I said, this brush is literally perfect for the lower lash line. Like the size is amazing, but also it's just fluffy enough. Like it looks blended and it is not making my eye uncomfortable at all, because I hate with a passion when pencil brushes are just so stiff that anything you do underneath the lower lash line leaves you, you know, like in tears, and then you're like messing up your makeup and whatever. I know some people have more sensitive eyes than others, but that just drives me crazy. Okay, I think I'm also gonna go ahead and try this brush with this blue shimmer right here called Underneath. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm just gonna pick up a little bit and pop that on the front, the lower lash line. Oh, that's pretty. I wanna take this neon right here called Energy and go into the B4 brush, just a little bit fluffier. And I'm gonna pop that on my inner corner. Super pigmented. I just thought it'd be something fun and a little bit different. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that into the green. Last but not least, we have the lid, which I'm not gonna use any of the brushes for just because they're a little bit more fluffy, and these shimmers are definitely more of a like creamy formula that I think requires a dense brush or your fingers. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this might be silly. I don't know if this is gonna work out, but I'm gonna start off with the shade Euphoric, that purple, and I'm gonna pop that on the inner half of my lid. Looks so pretty. And I'm also gonna go into the shade Limitless, the green, and I'm gonna do that on the outer half of my lid. I was gonna correspond the shimmers to my crease, but I don't know, I just thought it'd be kind of fun to do them like mismatched. It's a little bit chaotic, but I think it's cute. All right, so really quickly off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and go into some black liner, some mascara, and I'll be right back. So for blush today, I really wanna use a shade out of the palette just because they're like really blendable mattes. I want to explore using some of these as blushes. I think today I'm gonna start off with this pink right here called Sunsets. It's calling to me. I'm just gonna grab that on a small brush and just throw that on top of my cheekbones. And then I'm gonna go into the Beauty Bay Flash Highlighter. Just adding a little bit of that on top. I zoomed out, but I forgot I didn't do anything on my lips yet, so I'm just gonna take Sweet Mouth from Fenty. Just throw that on. Alright y'all, so this is the finished look. I love how it turned out. I really have been enjoying these palettes from Blend Bunny. I think they blend super easy and they're just so aesthetically pleasing. It makes me really happy to use them. I feel like every single color has something to go along with it. Like if you're just going down the row, it just makes sense, which I love. But as for the brushes, I am honestly super impressed. Let me grab all 5 of them. I've got 4 here. I feel like these are going to be staples in my collection. I could actually see going and purchasing a second set of these just to have backups of, because they are such amazing, detailed, tiny little brushes, but they're still super fluffy in the perfect way, whereas they're soft and they don't scratch on the eye at all. And I just feel like they definitely got these brushes right. So I'm a big fan, very happy that I decided to purchase these, and I would personally recommend them. So that is everything for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.